I am pleased and honored to have in our new studio here, we're pleased to have with us the president of the International Brotherhood of Teamsters, James Hoffa. Teamster.org, of course, is the website. President Hoffa, welcome back to the program.
Good to be here, Tom.
It's great to have you.
Having a great day today.
I can imagine. You've got this new Get America Working program that the Teamsters are launching. Tell us about it.
Well, we've got a big banner outside our building, and after Labor Day, that was the big kickoff. Get America Working is what we're talking about, fixing our infrastructure, getting out there, getting people back to work. We're trying to have a bipartisan approach to this issue. We need a huge program. I was on at the press club today with Secretary of Transportation Fox, with Haley Barbour, a number of people getting a bipartisan approach to what we have to do to fix our infrastructure. And that's a good way to kickstart our economy, get people back to work, and basically start fixing the roads that everybody knows have got to be fixed. Yeah. And what we find out is the Republicans, all they want to do is have, 2-month fix, 2-year fix, 1-year fix. They need a 5-year program like they've had in the past. So this is what we're talking about, and all the problems with our ports, with our bridges, with our sewage, with anything has to be fixed right now. And that's what we're talking about.
Don't you think that the reason why the Republicans are willing to fund these things for a year at a time, which is a disaster for the states because they can't, it takes more than a year to build a bridge.
You can't build a bridge in a year.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but the reason that they're only willing to fund it for a year at a time is that they are hoping that they can get a Republican in the White House next year, and in 2017, then they'll start funding it long term so that that Republican can take credit for those infrastructure jobs.
Well, that could be, but they also have a theory about they don't want to do anything. They want to have a smaller government. They don't want to they want to raise taxes. The question is, obviously, if you're going to do that, how are you going to pay for it?
Right.
And the last thing they want to do is to talk about raising taxes. We were talking
on rich people.
Yeah, we were sitting here talking about how do we do this? It's easy to say I want to do it. We talked about, one of the things, my idea is repatriate the $3 trillion that's offshore. Right. Bring that back. Fix our highways. Invest in America. And the interesting thing about infrastructure is that big business is for it. Big business realizes when it comes all the politics out, they got to have good roads. They have to have ports to move their products.
Right.
And the Chamber of Commerce is actually for this because they realize they got to get their trucks, they got to get ports, they got to get their products out of here.
Right.
And so this cuts across all that. But somehow that gets short-circuited when it gets to Washington and the different Republican states out there where they don't want to fund anything. They just want to say no, 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 no. Right. In the meantime, you got potholes, the bridges are falling apart, we've got all the problems we have, and it's not getting done. So what we've got to do is to come in, and our idea is to go out, start getting people involved. One of the things we did, we had the people that drive trucks. We're the largest transportation union in America. We have 1.4 million members. We probably have 700,000 that every day get in a truck or get in a bus or whatever and have something to do with transportation. And we have them sending in pictures of different things, roads with potholes, bridges that are, ready to fall down. And it's fascinating to see what they mail in to get them involved in this project. I was telling people today, I'm from Detroit. I was going across the Ambassador Bridge, which is the bridge to Canada. The thing is falling apart. We built in 1929. Whew. You know what trucks looked like in 1929? You know what cars looked like in 1929? Yeah. And it's still standing, has a tremendous amount of traffic going across it. And I'm on the bridge, and it's shaking. And I look down, and I can see a rusted bolt down there from 1929. And I said, I got to get off this bridge because it's going to fall in the water. But that's what we're dealing with, and we've got to address this problem. And it's not just for us. Somebody was telling me that somebody said, I never saw a Republican bridge or a Democratic bridge.
Right.
They're American bridges.
Right.
We got to fix them.
Tim Pawlenty learned that.
Yeah.
When what was it, I-35, that bridge collapsed in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
And those people died. That was tragic. It's just tragic. And then there's other infrastructure too. There's our intellectual infrastructure, which is our young people, free college education or something like that. And there's the internet infrastructure. There's our communications infrastructure that needs upgrading. There's lots and lots of stuff.
I made a list here. We have roads, bridges, ports, airports, rail, energy grid, pipelines, solar, nuclear, water and sewage systems, dams.
Yeah.
These are things that's off the top of my head that we're going to need. Every port has to be changed. Panama Canal, we need bigger. We need to dredge them out. If we're going to be part of moving products and be part, of the 21st century, the things that are coming up, we better get on this.
Right.
And that's the only way it's going to be done. It was with funding and a 5, 6 year, 7 year program And we're talking, $1 trillion.
Yeah.
And if you divide that by 5, it ain't that much.
Well, it's less than we spent in Iraq so far.
That's right.
I mean,
That's right.
let's get real here. We're talking with President James Hoffa, the General President of the International Brotherhood of Teamsters. Teamster.org is the website. They are launching a new program called Let's Get America Working. Is this specific legislation that you're recommending?
What we're doing is there is already a proposal that's passed the Senate, with the present administration right now, but it's all stopped up in the House right now. So it's just not getting anywhere. It's a typical things that get stopped up. And they're trying to get today. We had, Secretary of Transportation Fox was saying we need a 6-year program. And all we've had for the last couple of times are these 1- and 2-year fixes. Right. And that's not enough. We need a big plan with big money to get it done. You talk about, he had a good speech today. He was saying, how do we build America? Well, the transcontinental railroad. Big ideas, the Eisenhower, the interstate highways. Those are the kind of ideas we need today. We need big ideas, not these small stopgap ideas that don't take us anywhere.
Right. It's been a long time since anybody talked about sending a man to the moon, building the Hoover Dam.
Think big. We are America. We are the land of big ideas.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're capable to do it. We're the richest country in the world. And why can't we do it?
Yeah, yeah. Well, apparently the only thing that's preventing us is a bunch of Republicans who are afraid to tax the billionaires who pay for them.
It's absolute paralysis. Exactly what it is.
It really is. We're talking with President James Hoffa of the Teamsters. What can people who are watching or listening do who are not members of the Teamsters Union?
Well, I think basically get involved and write your congressman. That sounds corny, but it is. They have to hear from people out there. I think we're sitting here in Washington right now, and this is like a small echo chamber here. People don't know what people out the country are thinking about when they see potholes. And, I'm from Michigan. We have potholes that wreck your, you have to get a new tire. It's so bad.
I know.
And people have that all over the country. Yeah. And the answer is, why aren't we more outraged about this? What are we waiting for somebody to do this? And the answers are here in Washington, D.C., and we got to get the people to stop thinking and saying no to say yes, to make sure we start rebuilding and having some big ideas. That's what we have to do. So write your congressman, tell them that. When they come home on the weekends, go see them and say, you got to fix this infrastructure problem in our country. We've got to make America great again. You
mentioned Haley Barbour. He's a good friend of Ellen Ratner. He's a former governor of, Louisiana, as I recall, a Republican, and a reasonably decent human being. But he's not in office right now. Do you have any Republicans who are in the House and Senate who are openly supportive of this?
Yeah, Labiando, Congressman Labiando is.
That's
Schuster
great.
is, Congressman Schuster. A number of people we're talking to.
So you're starting to get some
colleagues.
We're
trying to be bipartisan, but you get those people. There are some very decent, a very, very decent, forward-looking people that belong to the Republican Party. But unfortunately, they're not the leadership. The leadership basically wants to say no. Right. And unfortunately, what Mitch McConnell said a number of years back, we want the president to fail.
Yeah.
But when they fail, America fails. And that's what we don't want. We want to fix our country. We want to have good roads. When you go to Germany, you don't see potholes in Germany because they invest more of their money of their GNP of the country into making sure their infrastructure works, to make sure they have these sleek trains that fly by at 100 miles an hour.
I'll be on one tomorrow.
And there's no problem with them.
Yeah.
Where we run ours, and they fall off the rails, whether it's the metro or whether it's taking the train to Philadelphia. And they don't have the problems we have because they invest in it and it runs properly. And we got to make sure we're like that. We're proud of our country. And we can do it.
There you go. You can read all about it at Teamsters.org. President James Hoffa, the General President of the International Brotherhood of Teamsters. President Hoffa, it is an honor and a pleasure to have you with us.
Tom, always good seeing you. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks so much for joining us.